Tom from Atlanta, did Dutch ever have the chance to meet or even wrestle against Lou Thesz? And if they only met, any insights Dutch can share regarding, as my grandfather called him, Sweet Lou? Thanks for all the memories and recollections.
Yeah, I met Lou. I never wrestled him, but I was in territory. He would come through, and he would come through like he would book himself in, or the promoter would book him in for like a week, 2 weeks. And sometimes I'd make trips with him, and I was trying to get to know, but he's not that big of a talker. Nice guy, and I would try to get him to talk about the days gone by, and he would talk a little bit, but nothing that I remember that really stood out in my head.
He obviously has got a reputation as one of the toughest guys ever in the industry. Were there any stories about Lou that permeated the dressing room back then?
Well, it was generally accepted that, if you messed around with him, and Lou was traveling around then. He was kind of an older guy. He may be in his late 50s, but he was still slim and in shape with a bald head. And you look at him and you think, well, you don't look that intimidating, till you found out that when he put you down and got you in that sugar hold, that you couldn't move and he could choke you out. Then you kind of got an example of what he really knew. He was a tough guy.
How big of a draw was he? So I'm presuming you're talking about the era maybe in the 70s when you were a lot younger in the business, when you were traveling with him. But how big of a draw was he if he was with whatever the territory was for a week or two?
Well, he was a world champion at one time, and I guess he drew. How long was he champion?
Oh God, don't ask me. I think I don't even know the last time he was champion. Maybe until the early 60s, maybe. I think he was champion when he was 50 or around then. I'll check. You carry on, or do you want me to pause?
Okay. Well, when he came in later, he wasn't that big of a draw. The house may have got a little bigger, but he wasn't like where I was. I mean, I don't think they used the world champion that much. May not even recognize him as world champion. It's not like Flair in the days when they recognized him like nationally as the world champion. So when Lou Thesz come in, it's according to who he came in against, but I don't remember him popping any big houses just by him coming in.
So the last one I've got here is Lou Thesz last won the NWA World title January 24th, 1963. And then there's the Buddy Rogers controversy. And then he lost it to Gene Kiniski January 7th, 1966. So he held it over 1,000 days.
Okay. But I don't remember Gene. I never met Gene Kiniski. Never met him. Because wherever I was, I don't guess they used him much. I remember Briscoe as the champion. This is when I really start remembering it. Briscoe as the champion. And then I think Terry Funk followed him.
Oh, God. I was just looking at Gene Kiniski then. I think it's because Gene Kiniski was more Canadian-based. So I know...
but it was NWA back in those days.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And whether he was based in Canada or not shouldn't have any influence on the NWA. NWA, of course, he was used in St. Louis a lot, Chicago a lot, maybe Houston a lot.
Well, I'll tell you...
Those are outlier towns. They didn't depend on any one territory to stock their cards. They would bring in who they wanted. It was almost like an independent show within the NWA.
I'll give you the next few. Gene Kiniski then lost to Dory in 69, then Harley in 73, Jack Briscoe in 73, Giant Baba for a week in 74, Jack Briscoe again 74, Terry Funk 75, Harley Race 77, Dusty Rhodes 79, Harley Race 79, Giant Baba again 79, Harley, and then Giant Baba a third. I didn't realise Giant Baba had won so many times. Anyway, I think he paid for it, didn't he?
Giant Baba?
Yeah, didn't he pay for the...
They all paid for it. I mean... Somebody did. But I was reading, and I didn't even know this at the time. I was there the night that Jack Briscoe lost it to Terry Funk in Miami, right? In Miami, right?
Oh, I think you might be right. Bear with me. What year are we talking? So who lost to who?
75.
Jack Briscoe loses to Terry Funk December the 10th, 1975 in Miami Beach, Florida.
I was there.
Was it good?
I didn't even know it.
Right. So did you go home early?
No, they kayfabe me. No, I stayed to the end, but I had to because I forgot who I rode with. I think I rode with one of the referees or something.
I was going to say, if it was Jack, then you would have to wait.
And I'm gonna tell you how inquisitive I was. We got in the car, and it was just like business as usual, you know. And I never even the ref never even brought it up. You know, we switched the belts tonight. It's just like, well, find us a 7-Eleven and let's get us something to drink and let's head home. And I didn't know about it actually to the next day, because it was supposed to be Jack Briscoe versus somebody in Jacksonville. Miami was a Wednesday. Thursdays was Jacksonville. Now, between those two towns is about probably 550 miles between those two towns. So we would drive back to Tampa, where we all kind of located. That was the head base. And then head to, like, Miami was like 270 miles south. Back to Tampa, that's over 500 miles in one day. The next day, we'd go up to north, 220 miles or 230 miles, and then head back south. Florida had some trips, but you were home every night. So if you got used to driving and traveling, it wasn't bad. But I was there the night that Briscoe lost it to Terry Funk.
Yeah, it made a huge impression on you.